Hello and welcome to C++ Weekly. I am your host, Jason Turner. In this episode, I want to talk about Clang's new constant interpreter. I do want to point out that I'm giving workshops at lots of conferences this year. Clang added this new constant interpreter, and this is supposed to improve the performance of constant evaluation. -F experimental new constant interpreter. We're going to try to give this a very quick test and see if it works. Today's episode is sponsored by JetBrains. CLion is a cross-platform JetBrains IDE for C and C++. It is ready for your projects out of the box and has everything you need to stay productive, focused, and in control. Deep language understanding with intelligent code assistance, comprehensive build system support, unit testing frameworks, advanced debugging, and embedded development. Use the code CPPWeeklyCLion to get 25% off when purchasing a new CLion subscription or renewing your existing one. All right, we're going to give this very simple example to Clang. I have disabled the optimizer. I am using libc++. And let's turn off warnings for the moment because we want to give the compiler a fair shake here. I feel like turning off optimizations is the best way to test this, but let's take a see. This is compiling the IOStream, and I know full well that using Compiler Explorer to time builds is problematic because this is stuff that has to go across the internet and everything else. But this is my ConsExpr scripting engine. And that compiled, I would say, relatively fast. We can see down here that the time was 13,583 milliseconds. All right, that's like, I don't know, 13,000 to 16,000 milliseconds here. Let's go ahead and turn on O3. So again, this is my ConsExpr compile time scripting engine. A considerable amount of work has to happen at compile time to build this thing, and I promise you, actually running this on your local computer compiles much, much faster here. All right, -F experimental new constant interpreter. Let's go ahead and enable this and correct these comments. Now note, every time I put in a comment here, it's going to force the rebuild, so I know that I'm getting a fresh timing, if you will. All right, this is still approximately the same amount of time. Let's go ahead and take this back to O0. And maybe we should play with like O1 to see if a minimal amount of optimization from the back end before doing constant evaluation. I don't know what order Clang does this in, honestly. All right, so we're looking at about 18. Again, keeping in mind that using Compiler Explorer is problematic here. This is dependent on server load, load balancing, all of the different things. So this is not the best metric for this, but it's a thing to play with. And I would say at the moment, it looks like the constant interpreter is not making any difference for this code. Maybe this code is not constant evaluation heavy. I kind of thought that it was. Yeah, this is not making a very big difference here. You don't see constexpr here, but just so you know, this thing, consexpr, it has a const eval default constructor. So I know that all of this is being generated at compile time, and you can see these data tables and stuff that it's generating. All right, well, you know, there we are. Let's just say it's a problem that is being worked on. So while I'm not seeing a drastic improvement with my particular example, I would say we should be excited for this, and we should be encouraging the Clang developers to continue down this road so that constant evaluation times get better. I guess we would be remiss to not test DCC trunk while we were here, -O0, and I need to turn off this experimental new constant interpreter feature, and I need to change which standard library I'm using. Clang's already doing a much better job at this than GCC is. So there you go. Thanks for watching this episode of C++ Weekly. Be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you next week.